Have you ever wished you could like peek inside an AI's mind and see how it's solving problems?
Yeah.
That's sort of the goal with this concept of meta chain of thought,
Right.
metacode for short.
Yep.
And we're diving deep into a paper today called
Okay.
Towards System 2 Reasoning in LLMs, Learning How to Think with Meta Chain of Thought.
Nice.
It's a mouthful,
Yeah, it is.
but we'll break it down. It sounds complex,
Yeah, sure.
but I think we can make it make sense.
Pretty
Some
well.
analogies or real-world examples.
Great.
So you can really see why this research is such a big deal.
It's like we're moving beyond just getting the right answer from AI.
Okay.
With Metacode, we're trying to understand the AI's actual thought process, like its reasoning path,
Right.
which is essential if we want to trust AI with more and more complex tasks.
Okay, so before we jump into metacode,
Yeah.
let's make sure we're all on the same page about chain of thought,
Got
COCO,
it.
which is kind of the foundation here.
Think of it like showing your work in math class. Instead of just writing down the answer, you break down the problem step by step,
Right.
showing how you got there.
Right.
COT does the same thing for AI,
Okay.
especially those large language models, or LLMs we hear so much about.
So it's like the AI is explaining its logic,
Exactly.
making it more transparent,
Yeah.
easier to understand,
Uh.
and then metacode takes this like a step further.
Exactly.
Right.
The metacode is about understanding the reasoning behind the reasoning.
Okay.
It's like
Wow.
if your math teacher not only asked you to show your work, but also to explain why you chose a specific problem-solving strategy
Right.
over another.
So it's like
Yeah.
a deeper level of transparency.
Right.
We're not just seeing the steps the AI takes, but we're seeing like why it chose those steps
Yeah.
and how it knew they were the right ones.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is important because even with COT, current AI models struggle with really complex problems.
Interesting.
You might have heard of LLMs like ChatGPT.
Yeah.
They're amazing at generating human-quality text
Mm-hmm.
and can solve simple problems.
Yeah.
But when it comes to advanced reasoning tasks,
Okay.
like those found in benchmarks like HARP
Uh-huh.
and OmniMath,
Right.
even the most sophisticated models
Okay.
like GPT-4 and Claude start to falter.
So it's like they can ace the quizzes, but struggle with the final exam.
Exactly.
But why is that?
That's the catch.
Okay.
The kind of data they've been trained on.
Right. They've been trained on mountains of data.
Yeah.
But-
The current training data mostly focuses on the solutions,
Okay.
the what,
Mm-hmm.
but not the reasoning process behind them.
Right.
The how and the why.
So they've learned to mimic solutions
Yeah,
without really understanding the underlying concepts.
exactly.
Yeah, it's like having a cookbook full
Yeah.
of recipes.
Yeah.
But no explanation of like the culinary techniques.
Right.
Or why certain ingredients work well together.
It's a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
And that's where the concept of search comes in.
Okay.
It's a key idea the researchers explore in this paper.
Got it.
Think of it like planning a road on a map.
Mm-hmm.
Search algorithms explore different paths and evaluate them
Okay.
based on certain criteria,
Right.
like distance, traffic, etc., before finding the optimal one.
So applying this to AI,
Yeah.
is it like having the AI explore different solutions
Yeah.
and then evaluate which one is the most logically sound?
That's the gist of it.
Okay.
In one of their experiments,
Hmm.
the researchers fine-tuned a Llama 3.1 8B model
Okay.
on a math data set.
Mm-hmm.
They found that if the AI generated multiple solutions
Okay.
and then had a way to verify and select the best one,
Right.
its accuracy significantly improved.
Wow.
They call this the generator-verifier gap.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So instead of just generating one answer,
Right.
the AI benefits from exploring different possibilities
Exactly.
and learning to judge their correctness.
It's a critical insight into how we might train AI to reason more effectively.
Yeah.
It suggests that AI can get better at problem solving,
Mm-hmm.
not just by generating answers,
Yeah.
but by exploring different paths
Right.
and developing a sense of which solutions are more likely to be correct.
Wow.
And that leads us to one of the most exciting parts of this research.
Okay.
How to actually train AI to think
Mm-hmm.
using something called meta-RL.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah,
Can you tell us more about meta-RL
Sure.
and what it means for AI's ability to learn?
absolutely. It stands for meta-reinforcement learning, and it's about taking AI's learning ability to a whole new level.
Okay.
Imagine instead of just teaching someone how to ride a bike,
Mm-hmm.
you teach them how to learn and adapt their balance and technique to any terrain
Yeah.
or situation.
So it's not just about giving the AI the answers. It's about teaching it how to figure things out on
Yeah.
its own.
It's like giving it the tools to
Yeah.
become a self-directed learner.
Precisely.
And the researchers found that by using meta-RL,
Mm-hmm.
they could actually improve AI's performance
Okay.
on complex reasoning tasks.
Wow.
Think of something like the countdown game,
Yeah.
where you have to use numbers and arithmetic to reach a target.
Yeah.
After being trained with meta-RL,
Okay.
the AI became much more efficient at finding solutions.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's like the AI is developing its own problem-solving strategies,
Right.
becoming a more strategic thinker.
It's still early days, but the results are promising.
Okay.
Now, remember how we talked about search before?
Yes.
How AI can benefit from exploring different solution paths?
Right.
Well, meta-RL kind of takes that to the next level.
Okay.
Instead of just searching through a predefined set of options, the AI is learning how to create its own search strategies,
Oh, wow.
adapting to new problems and situations.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's like the AI is not only searching for answers, it's searching for ways to search better.
Exactly.
It's becoming a more efficient and creative problem solver.
Exactly.
Wow.
Now, you might be wondering,
Yeah.
how do researchers actually train AI using this meta-RL approach?
Yeah. How do they do it?
Well, it involves something called rewards.
Okay.
Think of it like training a dog. You give the dog a treat when it performs a desired behavior,
Right.
and it learns to associate that behavior with a positive outcome.
So in the case of AI, instead of a treat,
Yeah.
the reward is something that helps the AI learn more effectively.
You got it.
Okay.
Every time the AI makes a correct reasoning decision or takes a step in the right direction,
Okay.
it receives a reward.
So it's being rewarded for thinking well.
And over time, it learns to prioritize those actions that lead to rewards,
Okay.
essentially developing its own problem-solving strategies.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like the AI is figuring out, hey, if I do this, I get a reward, so I should probably do more of that.
Exactly.
It's learning to optimize its thinking process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And by adjusting these rewards, researchers can actually guide the AI's learning process,
Okay.
encouraging it to explore different reasoning paths
Right.
and develop more sophisticated problem-solving strategies.
This is fascinating stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Now, we also talked about another approach,
Yeah.
prompting.
Right?
Can you remind us how prompting works
Sure.
and how it relates to this idea of meta-reasoning?
Prompting is about giving the AI specific instructions or cues
Okay.
to encourage it to think in a certain way.
Right.
For example,
Mm-hmm.
instead of just asking the AI for a solution to a problem,
Okay.
you might prompt it with something like,
Yeah.
think step by step and justify your reasoning.
So it's like giving the AI a little nudge in the right direction.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay.
And while prompting can be effective for certain tasks, it doesn't always lead to significant improvements in complex reasoning.
Okay.
You see, there's a risk that the AI might just be mimicking the style of the prompt
Right.
without really understanding the underlying concepts.
So it's like a student who learns to write a good essay by copying the format, but they haven't really grasped the subject matter.
Exactly.
Right.
And another issue with prompting
Okay.
is that it doesn't really address the fundamental challenge of teaching AI how to learn.
Right.
That's where meta-RL comes back into play.
Yeah.
It's not just about giving the AI instructions. It's about giving it the tools and the framework
Right.
to learn and adapt on its own.
So prompting might be a helpful tool,
Yes.
but meta-RL seems like the more powerful approach
it is.
for teaching AI to become a true reasoning machine.
That's a great way to summarize it.
Okay.
Now, in addition to meta-RL and prompting, there's another interesting technique researchers are exploring
Okay.
called process supervision.
Process supervision.
Yes.
That sounds intriguing.
It's all about providing feedback, not just on the final answer,
Okay.
but on the AI's intermediate reasoning steps.
So it's like having a teacher who not only grades the final exam, but also provides detailed feedback on each step of the solution process.
And this kind of granular feedback can be really valuable for helping the AI refine its reasoning process and learn to avoid common mistakes.
This all sounds very promising,
It is.
but I imagine there are still some big challenges
There are.
when it comes to training AI to think at this level.
You're absolutely right. One of the key challenges is ensuring the faithfulness of the AI's reasoning chains.
Okay.
Just because the AI arrives at the correct answer
Right.
doesn't necessarily mean its logic was sound.
Yeah.
It could have just gotten lucky.
So it's like that old saying, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Exactly.
Right.
And this raises some important questions.
Mm-hmm.
How do we verify not just the AI's output,
Right.
but the validity of its reasoning process?
Yeah.
How do we know it's not just making lucky guesses?
That's a critical point.
It is.
We want AI that's not just accurate,
Right.
but also reliable and trustworthy.
Right.
Yeah.
And as AI tackles increasingly complex problems,
Mm-hmm.
developing robust methods to assess the soundness of its reasoning
Right.
becomes even more crucial.
We also talked about the computational cost
Yes.
of training these advanced AI models.
Absolutely.
We're dealing with massive data sets and sophisticated algorithms.
Absolutely.
So how do we scale that?
Scaling up these training techniques
Yeah.
to handle even larger models and data sets
Right.
is a significant hurdle.
Okay.
And this is where advancements in hardware and software infrastructure are going to be crucial.
So it's not just about the algorithms.
It's not.
It's about having the computing power to run them effectively.
It is.
But are there other challenges beyond the technical ones?
Yes. And that brings us to the next part of our deep dive,
Okay.
where we explore just how far-reaching this research really is.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been talking about this meta chain of thought research.
Yeah.
And now I want to know where this technology could really make a difference.
Yeah. I mean, the potential applications are pretty mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Imagine AI that can collaborate with scientists, not just analyzing data,
Right.
but generating hypotheses and designing experiments.
Okay.
It could accelerate research in fields like medicine, materials, science,
Right.
you name it.
So instead of just crunching numbers,
Right.
AI could contribute to scientific breakthroughs.
Yeah,
What
fair.
would that look like in practice?
Imagine you're a researcher studying a new disease.
Okay.
With MetaQuant, AI could analyze vast amounts of data, genetic information, clinical trials, scientific literature, and then generate potential explanations for the disease's development, even suggesting new avenues for treatment.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And it's not just about speed, right?
Yeah.
It's about AI potentially coming up with ideas that human researchers might miss.
Exactly.
Right.
AI could help us overcome our own cognitive biases and explore unconventional approaches.
Okay.
It's like having a research partner
Yeah.
with a completely different way of looking at things.
That's a game changer
It is.
for scientific discovery.
Yeah.
But what about applications closer to home?
Sure.
How could MetaQuant impact our everyday lives?
Okay, so imagine you're facing a tricky decision.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're planning a big trip
Yeah.
or trying to choose between different investment options.
Sure.
An AI assistant, powered by MetaQuant, could help you weigh the pros and cons,
Right.
laying out the reasoning behind each choice
Okay.
so you can make a more informed decision.
So instead of just giving me a list of options
Right.
or a pre-programmed response,
Exactly.
the AI could engage in a real conversation.
Yeah. Almost like a trusted advisor.
That's the idea.
Wow.
It's about making AI more transparent and trustworthy
Yeah.
so we can feel confident relying on its insights and guidance.
This could transform fields like education,
For sure.
customer service, even personal coaching.
Absolutely.
But as AI systems become more sophisticated and capable of reasoning,
Yeah,
there are also challenges we need to consider.
absolutely. Right.
One key challenge is ensuring that AI systems remain aligned with human values
Right.
and goals.
So it's not just about making AI smarter.
No, it's no.
It's about making sure it's working with us,
Exactly.
not against us.
And that requires careful planning,
Yeah.
open dialogue,
Mm-hmm.
and collaboration between AI experts, ethicists, policymakers,
Right.
and the public.
This research raises some really profound questions
does.
about the future of AI
Yeah.
and its role in society.
It's an exciting time to be exploring these questions.
Yeah.
The possibilities of AI are vast, but so are the responsibilities that come with it.
Well, I think this deep dive has given us a lot to think about.
I agree.
Meta chain of thought represents a significant leap forward in AI research.
It is.
With the potential to revolutionize how we solve problems, make decisions,
For sure.
and even understand our own intelligence.
It's a fascinating field.
And as we continue to develop these powerful technologies, it's crucial that we do so thoughtfully
It is.
and responsibly,
Yes.
ensuring that AI benefits all of humanity.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of meta chain of thought.
My pleasure.
We hope you've enjoyed exploring these groundbreaking ideas.
I hope so, too.
And that you'll continue to follow the developments in this rapidly evolving field.
It's changing every day.
Yeah, see you then.
See you then.